Hey guys, welcome to another round of Video Game Club. This tour was known for a lot of things. Multiplayer games like GoldenEye and also Paper Mario. Known for some platformers like Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong 64. Adventure games like Legend of Zelda, but one thing it was not really well known was RPGs. And this is the one, and I do mean one, exception to the rule, because this game is not the only RPG on the N64, but it is the only good RPG on the N64. So, that being said, I'm trying to set up some streaming stuff. Let's dive in to this game. Now, I had actually been playing this game recently. I had picked up a manual from a recent vacation that we went on, and so the kids and I were running through it and reading the manual together as we went along. So I'm not going to be starting from completely the beginning, although I certainly could, I guess, but we'll get right into the action. I'm going to take me a minute to figure out where I am and what I was doing. So you play as the protagonist Mario, of course, off to save Princess Peach from the evil Bowser, kidnapped and imprisoned in her own castle, which is floating in the sky. We are at the Koopa Brothers castle, which is a comedic play on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is pretty funny. This is Koops. He is one of my companions. I currently have two companions. Like most RPGs, you can see that there's like a rather in-depth menu screen. I'll show you around a little bit. Stats, just like most RPG games. Badges, this is like your equipment and allows you to customize Mario. Items, party members, spirits, these are our goal. We want to rescue all the 7 spirits. I think it's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, star spirits, so that we can beat Bowser. Here's our world map. A lot of RPG stuff going on here. So we're going to hit this block. It's a trap. One of the main gimmicks of this game is that all the characters are made out of paper. And that's, I don't know why they went with that aesthetic, but they did, and it certainly made the game very unique from other Mario games, so much so that Paper Mario is largely considered a distinct original character compared to Mario. In other words, this Mario is not the same Mario that you platform with in 3D games. It's sort of an alternate reality Mario, if you will. This is going to be our third party member. She's a little bomb named Bombette. I really like the presentation of this game. It doesn't look really good for me running it because, again, I'm having to run it through an upscaler, which is not a very good upscaler. But, it is what it is. But on like my special TV through my personal video monitor through S-Video, it looks great. Especially in the proper aspect ratio, because it's another thing is, unfortunately, the scaler, one of the things it does is it stretches the image, so the aspect ratio is not correct. But, for playing with you guys, it's worth it. One of these days I'll have a better setup for recording SD video games. Right now my setup's more suited to HD video games, and, it is what it is. Maybe one of these days I'll get one of those modded N64s that shows up in HD. That'd be great. Or get the little adapter they make now. I think that Retrovision has an HDMI cable for N64 now, and also another company has like a little adapter. So these bombs have been enslaved by the Koopa Brothers. She wants to get out of here, obviously. In a room full of bombs, they're going to suddenly realize that they can blow up and make a hole in the wall. So she's my new party member. Each party member has different field stats, so I can use her to blow up certain walls that are cracked. So we're going to go over here and check this out. Now, this game is excellent. I actually prefer the sequel, which was on the GameCube. It's called the 1,000-Year-Old Door. Actually, that's the way my son says it. It's the 1,000-Year Door. Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door. And that game, graphically, presentation, story, everything's pretty much superior to this one. But that doesn't mean this game is bad. It's excellent, and it certainly laid the groundwork for the sequel, which is, to me, one of the best GameCube RPGs. It's an overlooked gem, and I recommend you try it. If you have an N64, you need this game as well. Another thing that's funny about this game, this N64 cartridge, is that the Paper Mario cartridge is by far the heaviest cartridge I own. And what I mean by that is that each one of these cartridges, depending on the amount of memory in them, they'll weigh differently. You can actually feel how light or how heavy they are. And this is definitely the heaviest cartridge I own, and that's because it's just, you know, ton of chips and memory to make it run and look spectacular for the N64. Again, notwithstanding, you know, because of the upscaler I'm having to use being cheap. I guess that's the other alternative, is I could just buy a better upscaler, but you know, to buy a better upscaler, this one costs about $25, and a better upscaler would be about $400, and yeah, I don't have that. Different enemies. So this is a battle screen, so different enemies have different weaknesses. So for instance, I can jump on this guy, and because I've knocked him down, he can no longer attack me. I'm gonna body slam. Also, every one of these characters has a little gimmick. Like I can block and take no damage if I hit the A button at the precisely right time. I can hold the stick back and let go when the star appears, and I'll do extra damage. Hold the A button, and then that's done. Now the thing about these bombs is that if I attack them with the hammer or my jump, they'll light. And when they go off, it will be really bad, so... I have mad mashing skills, by the way. So I'll show you. It's probably going to stink for Mario, but... So the next turn, he's just going to come over here and wreck me. Ah, it wasn't too bad. I get star points. Every 100 star points, you get a level. Standard RPG stuff. Now, this game was made by Intelligent Designs, and they took over for this game because what everybody wanted was a sequel to Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. And Square made that game. And Square and Nintendo had sort of parted ways. Here's a little secret. Voila. Actually, I thought it dropped something, but maybe it's this one. But Square and Nintendo had sort of parted ways because Square was like, we want to make giant RPGs and your cartridges are too tiny. I think it's rather famous to say that if you put Final Fantasy VII on a cartridge, it would have been like 16 cartridges, and they put the whole game on 3 discs. So the storage medium was not... Oh, I changed the sound my hammer makes. Why is this... Have I already been in here? I think that's what it is that I've already been in here. That's what's the problem. So, sorry, I'm getting turned around. So Square was like, you know, we don't want anything to do with your little kids console, which wasn't true, but you know, that's... They were just saying that they didn't have the storage to tell the type of stories that they wanted to tell. So Nintendo had to have a rethink, and they were like, okay, we want to make a Mario RPG in the line of, you know, Super Mario RPG. And they went to Intelligent Systems, who was making the Fire Emblem series for them, which is a subdivision of Nintendo, Intelligent Systems. And they were like, sure, yeah, we'll make it. So they did. And this is the result. And look, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I love the Super Nintendo Mario RPG. I really do. I think it's a great game. But I have to say, I kind of prefer the Paper Mario series. And again, a lot of people are going to be like, what? No. How in the world could you ever say something like that? But I don't know. I just think that this is, I mean, both are very charming games, but I like the battle system, and especially in the sequel to this game. That game's honestly one of my favorite RPGs. It's as deep or as shallow as you want it to be, really. Okay, she finally did 2 damage. I couldn't figure that out. I am really low on flower points, which is my magic power. Honey syrup, that'll work. I'm bragging on my mashing skills, and then I forgot to mash. Can swap player order using that button already. Oops. Now this is a mistake. Maybe I can just kill it for it. That'll work. But Paper Mario on the N64, excellent game. Really ahead of its time in a lot of respects, and showed that the N64 could have had some really amazing RPGs if somebody had been willing to put in the effort to build them. You know, it's just a shame that nobody at the time was willing to put in the effort. I mean, of course you got Quest 64, but it stinks. And then there was another game, which I can't even remember the name of, but it was also terrible. So as far as RPGs go, if you own an N64 and you want an RPG to play, this is really your best and only option. But that doesn't mean you're settling. This game is excellent. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that it's Final Fantasy or something like that, but it's an excellent game. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed.